morning. Good morning, YouTube. Only Mr. 50 can save the market now. Hey, where's Mr. 50? Surely he's enjoying this stuff. So, I don't. What's up, Damien? I'm going to play things pretty open-minded here. Pretty open-minded here. So, we do have a huge amount of orders down to 53.75. I am still holding short NASDAQ here. And, yeah, so far, pretty crazy cycle. Apple is up, Nvidia is coming off, Microsoft is up, there's the market open. We have got a deep red market, although there are some green X's. XLU is green, XLP is green, XLRE is green. Apple is barely green by 0.4%. I'm not saving this market, but diagonally roll my puts. I love it, Mr. 50. I love it. Alrighty. Yeah, so the big thing on deck here is we just had 3,700 orders fill on Bookmap. We have another order come on, 53.75, which is 25 points down for 2,700, almost 2,800 orders. Amazon's down almost 10%. Yeah. Yeah. Amazon is down 9.2. Nvidia is down 5.4. Tesla's down 1.4. Google is down 2.3. So blood red market across there. XLF is down 1.18. The banks. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. What do you think about a January 2025 swing put with strike? I'm going to go a little further out because I am going to put on a leap here soon. But I'm going to go a little further out than that. Here comes the red back off, 18,600. We'll go for a test of the pre-market low there of 511. If at any point today they cross under that 511 mark, then all support is void here, and we have to go seeking out lower prices. Just be careful. 5290 is current exposure on the book for SPX, which is 70 points lower from here. If you don't think the market can continue down today, then I would turn your attention to June of 2022. This can go on for 3-4 days if it does do that. So just don't let your thesis be it can't go down anymore from here. Don't be a jabroni. Yeah, interest rate cuts. I think finally people are starting to chew off on that. You know, obviously we've been talking about that for the while, but the interest rate cuts coming in September are more and more likely. I swung a 540 put. Beautiful. Best day of the year. Nice munch. Well done, buddy. I'm proud of you. Anyone here trade the 20-year bond market? The TLT. I typically don't trade the bond market directly, although I have been exposed to bonds before, but more like the ETFs. I don't even know what to think of these yields. I've never seen it like this outside of crisis times. I think we are in a crisis times. I think there's been a lot of window dressing across a lot of things. But I mean, look, CRE loans are at the highest delinquency rate in 10, 15 years. Repossessions are up 40%. Inflation is still entrenched for now. I mean, things aren't as good as the corrupt numbers have made it out to be. You know, when you pencil whip everything that puts out into the public, it's hard to see the true painting. Look what happened to the regional banks, and of course, you said that there's some Canadian banks that are under stress. You know, I think, we will have some sort of a 2008 reckoning moment. Obviously for different reasons, but where everyone's like, "Holy crap! How would we not see this coming?" So, yields are getting pummeled right now. Bonds are up. You know, there's a reason why we're in the longest bear market in history for the bonds, and that will start to rotate. And when it does, it's not going to be pretty for the equities. 665 here coming off already. A 120-point candle on down. Beautiful. Still holding short for NASDAQ, so I'd love to put a new low in here. It looks like 53.75 is going to fill. Wonder if Michael Gadd has I told you so merch. People don't understand that guy, man. You know, But he has been right on the money with conditions present, and I think he'll get his uppance. That's not just a rumor. The Canadian Central Bank's repo numbers lend credence to the unsubstantiated rumor. Oh yeah. If I'd only been patient, I max lost already thinking we would get continuation. Definitely used too much size. Yep. Position sizing, baby. Position sizing. Market seems very burdened by what has been. Seems so. Seems so. Man, can you imagine if I took a 3 DTE put on that FOMC play? That'd have been nice. I need to start doing that. That's twice that I would have done that. That big FOMC that I took the strangle on and lost a bunch of money on, 2 years ago? If that was a 3 DTE, it would have paid like hundreds of percent. That's the play right there. Pfizer rocket ship. Liquidity is still down to 53.74. More than likely that will fill. That will fill. 52.90. 52.90 is the GEX currently positioned. Now there's GEX. There is exposure all over the book by an egregious amount. So an incredibly, I guess, profound option chain here. All over the place. 52.90, 53.65, 54.75, 52.45. So we have literally a 250 point range with large exposure for 0 DTE options today. We have Amazon, Tesla, all put flow, Microsoft, Nvidia, call flow for the time being. Man, look at this. 120 points down, 120 points back up on NASDAQ. Incredible price action. 260% on INTC strangle. Beautiful. Beautiful. If you do those plays in advance, you wouldn't be here. Yep. That's where that good old crystal ball comes into play. Yeah, oil is getting smoked. They're getting smoked still. I believe that they'll retreat back down to lower 70s, maybe even upper 60s. Looking for individual tickers to invest in today. Gotten punched in the junk right now, but I came from crypto, so I'm used to this. There you go. $53.95. IV is incredibly spicy today. So if you're going to play, then be prepared to shell out some bucks. Yeah, I'm having an issue with the bot that links up with the server. So I've reached out to customer support to the past couple of days. People have been don't automatically get the access when they sign up, so I'm having to manually do it. Just have them shoot me a DM, and I'll get it straightened out. Let's see. ES is 54.04.01. Still have this major liquidity down to 53.76. Large green on Nvidia, which is call buying for the moment. VIX is still holding 21, as the VIX is now up 13%. So VVIX, which is the volatility of volatility, yesterday was printing some pretty egregious signs. It's large engulfing green, which means a major flows on the VVIX, which was we kind of notated that it was showing some warning signs, and obviously this is what it was forecasting. Was this huge dip overnight. The United States government sells 10,000 Bitcoin. Interesting. His DM, his name is Sweet. Yeah. Thanks, H. Green up to yesterday's S5. Um, possibly. Right now we are back and forth. That's a 3 point candle so far in SPY, which is huge. Nvidia's rocket ships, which is call buying. Apple is rocketing now here as well. We have liquidity up to 54.37, 54.40 down to 53.75. So all over the place. When there's this much volatility, they're going to screw over both sides of the tape and shake things out, especially with this much selling. Even regardless of where we end up going today or even into next week, they're going to shake the tree, especially with all these positions that are going to be deep in the money. Coming all the way back up, 54.14 already. That is a 20-point candle or so. Nvidia, or NASDAQ, coming all the way back up to 745. Talking about 200-point moves in 10 minutes. Crazy buying. This is, I remember this stuff, man, back from 2022, where literally we'd be putting on 100-point moves like it's nothing. That's why position sizing is so incredibly paramount right now, especially if you're doing these stupid props. Like, you've got to do micros, because even one mini and you're wrong, you're going to hit the drawdown in about 3 seconds, and you're going to want to smash your face through the computer screen. So, micros. Top wicking off of the prior imbalance from 8:30. Russell's not moving at the moment. Dow's not moving at the moment. Nvidia is still squeezing higher. They have popped back up to 107. I know liquidity is there, but don't fully understand the goal of it. Who's managing it? Yep. Your job as a retail trader is to determine what the hedging parameters are for institutional traders. If you can figure out what they need to do to hedge, then most likely you can figure out what's going to happen with the market, and it's going to allow you to think opposite of the normal retail trader. Because the larger institutions, the funds, the quote unquote dealers, however you want to apply that term, they're the ones providing the options market to us. When we buy a call, they sell a call. When we buy a put, they sell the put. So you have to think in terms of what are they doing to protect their underlying positions. And I think Agnostic already said once that by law they can't be too directionally overexposed without some sort of hedging. By law, and that's what makes them a fund. That's what keeps them from losing billions of dollars overnight. So when you have a multi-day move like this, this is why, one, you either get a big bounce up when the market opens because they have to unroll those positions, or two, you get an egregious amount of selling for multiple days in a row because they have to continue to pile into shorts to hedge their underlying portfolio as you go deeper into negative delta territory, because they want to be able to neutralize their positions back to delta neutral. So it's either one or two things, and we don't really know what's going to happen at the bell. We just have to figure out what's having it. It's kind of like a cause and effect. I see a cause, what's the effect? Or an effect, if I see an effect, what's the cause? Whichever. And we do that through the option chain positioning analytics like TradyTix, a couple other things. By the way, I'm going to be trying out a new software. I had a company reach out to me about another option chain analytic, and I'm going to try them out. I said I know nothing about it, but I'll give it a shot, see if I like it. Haven't downloaded it yet though, so I haven't started using it. I'll probably start next week. 5407. Name of company, ORATS. ORATS, which stands for Options Research and Technology Services. So we'll give it a shot. If it sucks, I'll tell y'all. If it's great, I'll tell y'all that too. First, I have to look up what their pricing is. If it's $1,000 a month, I ain't doing that crap. Because my whole thing is what can I offer you all? It's a good tool. All right, a little bit of top wick rejection off of the imbalance from 830. We came down from 762 down to 670, which is a 100-point rejection. Apple's still screaming here. I'm going to take a close eye on the options data here. We still have put buying, call selling. GEX is all over the freaking place right now. We have 5290 is the main area. We have SPY sitting 535 at the moment, which is $1.50 down. And we are still back and forth pinned to the same price that we have been in since about 10 o'clock last night, with a lot of oscillations in between. Our new couch is scheduled to deliver to arrive at the exact same time frame. We're expecting to have another thunderstorm. Oh, that's no good. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's fine. That's the way things work. This has been one of the driest summers we've had in a while, until the day that we started building the house. Literally the day of was our first thunderstorm, and it's stormed every single day since. So, I feel you. You know what it's like trying to keep like 42 windows covered with tarps for 3 weeks? It sucks. Oh, man. All right, 18,671 still rejecting follow through, so we do have a qualified rejection on the 15-minute here on NASDAQ. Again, I'm going to say whatever positions I take today, I want to caution you all against following anything I'm doing today, because if I'm wrong, it's going to be wrong by a large margin very quickly because of this volatility. So just stay on your toes today. This is the day you want to kind of stay on the balls of your feet so you can pivot. Could I ask a VP question about yesterday? Absolutely you can. Dear Lord, I've forgotten about bearish volatility. It's spicy. It is very spicy. It is 5-star pad thai spicy. Ooh, pad thai sounds good. Am I still long for Boeing? Long term, yes. Long term, yes. People shouldn't be following. Give me your money, I'll hold it for you. Yeah. White people 5-star or normal 5-star? Is there a difference? I can't handle 5-star, so whatever that means. I'm like a 1, maybe 2-star, depending on the restaurant type of guy. NASDAQ's coming back off here. Still holding short on NASDAQ. That's the only play I have screaming right now. And I'm trying to see if we can clear out the daily POC. I already found out that Yikes screwed up pretty good, but all by myself. I'll be patiently wait for you. That's okay. You had a fantastic day the other day, so. Volume has not dissipated. Nope. Volume is still very high. Look at the volume we've had even yesterday. Phenomenal volume. I'm surprised it didn't close higher than it did, because we started the morning out with incredibly high volume. It didn't go to huge levels. NASDAQ is still coming off here, so this is incredible movement, dropping on down. Boeing is too big to fail. There are 2 plane manufacturers and only one is American. No chance the government lets Boeing fail. That's exactly my thesis. I don't even care about the fundamentals of Boeing. Is that the government right now is obviously, 1, military-industrial complex, and 2, probably the most corrupt government in the world at the moment. So when you have those 2 things together, that is a prime time situation for a stock to continue to go up. So as long as that happens, as long as corruption is rampant in the United States government, then I will be longing Boeing until the end of time, because they'll never let them go out of business. 53.98 down to 53.76. 0DT options pricings are stupid. They are. It's crazy. I get a medium and it's spicy. She gets a medium and it's super light. I'm the same way, man. I even think about spicy food and I start sweating, like literally, physically start sweating. Can I point out something? Absolutely. So we are retail traders trying to figure out what the dealers are doing, but there are institutions who have a very good idea what. But there are institutions who have a very good idea what their dealer exposure is, and they use it to force dealer to move the market in a way they want. There are institutions who have a very good idea what the dealer exposure is, and they use it to force the dealer to move. Yeah, so they're kind of forcing their hand. When you order, you have to say Thai spicy, otherwise they make it wimpy. I tried the one chip challenge. Yeah, I couldn't eat for like 12 hours. My stomach was spasming. I'm kicking myself for yesterday. I got out of puts only a few hours into the market to work. I would have been a 200% winner otherwise. That's all right. Still top looking here, NASDAQ forcing lower. Sweats at his armpits. That's hilarious. Any plans for the weekend? Just working on stuff. I got to cut down a bunch of trees for the power lines to come through at the farm. That'll be fun. It's supposed to be like 99 degrees out. 99 heat strokes. Da 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 da. Nvidia is giving up the entire green. Look at that. Dropping back off. VIX is still not selling off here, with the NASDAQ dropping on the 15-minute. So right now, the institution is trying to prevent this buy-up and force the dealers to sell into this. Trying to force their hand into selling. Well, I like that. If we can clear out this prior support and clear out that daily POC and get them to induce that selling begot selling type deal, then we can get some pretty spicy action to the downside. Where was your question, Math? Where was it at? Let me see. So the 12 candle yesterday afternoon, was that wick in high volume, not a setup for a long reversal setup? I'll take a look on ES at 12 o'clock noon. I assume you mean 12 Eastern time. Let's go look. So that would be 11 o'clock my time, or Alaskan time. Which time frame are you talking about? Central time. All right, so 12 Central. Hour and 4 hour. All right. Still dropping here. Yeah, I mean that is a hammer candle, but we did not have high volume on it on the hourly chart, and you have to wait for the follow-up. What did the follow-up candle do? Immediately tanked. So for the hourly chart, if we could recapture on that candle, which the high of that candle is 54.90, if they could have recaptured 54.90 and held it, that'd be the indication to go long. But two things are wrong there about that setup. One, did not have any volume. Two, it did not recapture the prior high. So that's why I have to wait for confirmation. So the hammer candle is merely an indication that something may happen. That's what Anna Coling talks about VPA, is that VPA is not a concrete foundation where if you see something you immediately take entry. It's an indication that something probably could happen as long as you see the follow-up. That's why it's an art, not a science. So we have a nice hammer candle, but you're void of volume and you don't take out the prior high. And you never want to be longing when the price action is still not putting in higher highs. If you're still putting in lower highs, it's not the time to long. That's where confirmation comes in. Starting to think this farm you're talking about is an oil pump farm or a moose farm. Yeah, the higher volatility, the lower the time frame, the faster things move, and the faster you have to make a decision. Am I going to make a small landing strip? Absolutely, I am. I definitely one day I want to get me a Kit Fox. Get me one of those tail dragger planes. All right, homies, that's it for me. I'm working another job, so I have to be available for that job. My buddy makes $500K from juggling multiple remote jobs at once. I'm trying to do the same thing. Very cool. What I'm curious. Does he know? Do you know what kind of jobs that they are? Are they like IT specific or something? Stole, yeah, stole aircraft. Or multiple jobs, yeah. Ranging from IT and finance. Beautiful. So would the same thing be true of the 1500 candle bottom wick, which hooked at the hourly green? Let's go take a look on the hourly chart. 1500 bottom wick candle. Yep, same exact thing, because the 1500 was a hard hammer candle, but also no volume, and we couldn't take out the prior high. So same exact thing. Outside of trading, do you have any good ideas to make a couple of bucks on the side? I don't, honestly. My advice to you is just pick something and do it. It doesn't even matter. People are so lazy these days and so unmotivated, that you could pick anything and make money. I mean, case in point, look at my brother-in-law. The dude literally one day he says, you know what, the housing markets or the car market's starting to go down. He's a car salesman at a dealership, and I'm tired of working weekends. So what did he do? He went out and bought a $5,000 pressure washing rig, hooked it up his truck, and he started doing pressure washing. And he just landed a six-figure contract in under a year of starting. It's pressure washing. That takes no smarts whatsoever, just work ethic. So just start something. Lawn business, yard cutting, pressure washing, hanging Christmas lights for people in the Christmas time, buying dumpsters and renting them out, trailers and renting them out. Just do something. Even if you only bring in an extra $500 a month, that's still $500, and you turn into 1,000, and then 1,500, and then 2,000, and then eventually you hire another person, and now you're bringing 10,000 a month, and you hire someone else, and now you're bringing 20,000 a month, and et cetera, et cetera. Just don't do nothing. Exactly. All right, about to put a new low here. Still riding my NASDAQ shorts. So if we break out 512 and drop, this will be one of the best plays of the year for me here. If we could take out 53.75. I think we are going to at least tap that 75 out in ES and wipe out those 2,800 orders. Now, here's what's going to happen. If we take out that 53.75 with 2,800 orders, most likely we'll put another 10 points below that, and then we'll analyze what's going to happen. I would probably guess that we're going to come down, fill that 23.75, and then have a little red blurt down there, and then we'll see if they bottom wick and climb, or if that's just going to wipe and waterfall through. Lawn mowing for 5 properties, 0.5 acres, can be very lucrative. I've been quoted $2K to mow at 2.5 acres. Yeah. The thing is, whatever you do though, you show up early, you dress nice, and you do what you say you're going to do, and you offer a fair price for great work. Under promise, over deliver. If you stick to that, I mean, you will blow people out of the water. Communication, customer service, show up on time or early, and do what you say you're going to do consistently, and you will rake it in. The quality of customer service across all industries is terrible. It's terrible. From fast food all the way down into the trades. People don't quote, they don't return your calls, they don't show up, they call no show, terrible work, they price gouge you. So all you have to do is be a diamond in the rough. Just shine up that diamond, and you will do well in anything you do. And I genuinely mean this. It is not difficult to become wealthy in this country. People overthink things. All you have to do is put one step in front of the other and start somewhere. Be like a decent human being, yeah. But all people want to do is kick their feet up and watch Netflix. They want to watch 21 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. Go for the week on Apple Call. Poured up 20% in July. Nice, Damien. Beautiful, buddy. Well done. VIX new high of the day, 2161. I've only had one complaint since 93, but that customer was mentally ill for real. I've been looking at becoming a fireworks event apprentice just for fun. You and me both, man. I actually looked at the same thing. A ton of weird jobs out there. See you, Damien. Are you still in El Paris? Let's take a look at the flow here. The flow right now is still put buying, and it's still accelerating. However, we do have some call buying today. Yesterday was dominated by call selling. Dominated. Right now, we still have strong put buying, but we're also coupled by a little bit of call buying here too. So that's kind of why we're not really flushing at the moment. There's still some delta increasing on the positions. If we start to see those calls roll over and just close out those calls, then we're going to have a flush here. Right now, the GEX currently on SPX is about 52.90, 52.85. We have put buying on Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, ABGO, call buying on Apple, and a little bit of call buying on Nvidia. I have a 401k plan through my employer that doesn't offer a match. Ooh. Anyone have any insight on whether or not it's worth allocating, maxing the contribution, or just putting it in a taxable Roth? I'll tell you this, if my employer does not match, then I am not going to have a plan through the 401k, employer 401k. I'm going to set it up myself and manage it myself. So I will go into whatever provider you want, and I will open up a 401k on my own, under my own accord. Split flush, no worries. Well, I don't necessarily mean a true retirement account, just some sort of fund. Without match, you might as well choose a broker and open a Roth. Yep. Spicy plot thickens. Put call ratio is now 0.92. Will it flush to 17,000? I don't know. That's a huge level. Right now, they're still defending the daily POC here. We still have a little bit of call buying here. So the market, this chain is not completely dominated by puts at the moment. Not like it was yesterday, which is why we're not getting smoked at the moment. What's up, Corey? Thank you again, buddy. I appreciate you always supporting the community and hanging out with us. I started working with my dad when I was 8 painting houses. By the time I was 14, he taught me one lesson: show up and earn the right to come back. Absolutely. I love it. Yeah, they trimmed off that big liquidity, but they rolled it upwards to 53.85. So that's managed liquidity. Right here. 53.84. What was it like trading in a recession market? Well, remember, I didn't trade. I wasn't trading in 2008, 2007. So in terms of that, the great financial crisis, I didn't trade that. Now, the minor stuff we had in like 2011 and again in 2017, 2018, that was nothing compared to what we're going to be experiencing here in the next 12 to 18 months. So the worst thing about it was not necessarily the downside, because it was quite limited. It was the absolute grind of the price action. Very, very slow, very, very grindy, very tight ranges. It was a grind, an absolute mental disaster to trade it. And it definitely requires some patience, but it's always buy the dip. You know, anytime the market pulls back on you, it's the time to start loading into stocks, and then forget about it. So take whatever money you can, you buy some indexes, S&P, Qs, whatever, you VOO, and you take your hands off and forget about it. You write down the login information, you put it in a cabinet, and you forget about it for 20 years. And who cares? Now, in terms of day trading it, once this market bounces, like, the day trading scalping is over with. Whenever this market, in the next 12 to 18 months, whenever this market flushes and then bounces, and then once that initial bounce happens and the volatility bounce occurs and we kind of level off and the smoke clears, that's it, man. That's it. You know, you ever seen the movie The Day After Tomorrow, where like the new ice age starts, and like they go through all those storms and there's snow everywhere, and then finally at the end of the movie, like, the storms dissipate. Well, that when the storms dissipate and the new normal happens, that's going to be us here in about a year and a half. And we're going to have to learn that there is no more scalping and day trading. It's going to be all swing trading, long-term trading, credit spreads when you can, cash secured puts, cover calls, that thing. NASDAQ is still selling here. Yeah, you have to have an every account to hold futures and hold overnight. Exactly. All right, there's 53.83. Large move, and NASDAQ is about to put a new low of the day here. Still dropping. Let's see if we can get through 509. Wow. 340 points a contract here. I need to get through this level right here. When you have time, do you mind going about your psychology strategy when you go into high times of high volatility versus normal trading? Patience. It's patience. It's very, very easy to get machine guns on your mouse there and click away. You see, holy crap, there's a 100-point candle. Enter, bounce. So it's all about position sizing and patience. If you can wait for a great entry on a big move, you can make a ton of money. But you've got to wait. Look at this. Look at this. Still dropping through this little area here. New low of the day, 18,489. And we're still freaking going, dude. Extraordinary. Still put buying here. Going up into about half of what we saw yesterday at the moment. And we are still liquidating. Extraordinary. VIX is 2230. I'm going to have to hop off here. Dang it. Incredible. Incredible. All right, so because I am having to hop off here, I am going to roll my stop down on my NASDAQ here. I wanted to hold this the entire day if I could, but I'm going to be in an area where I'm not going to be able to check my phone for about half an hour. So I'm going to set my target about 570, 580, and that'll lock in on my NASDAQ plays about 320 points a contract here. So I think that's a healthy win. So this is where it gets killed. Yeah. So once we clear out those levels, this is where it starts waterfalling. So don't buy the dip until it's blatantly obvious. All right. I'm going to leave the stream on. Like I said, I do have to be gone here for about 40 minutes. I'll be back hopefully by the top of the hour, and we'll continue some streaming. So y'all bear with it. I am still in my NASDAQ shorts. I'm just going to roll the stops down. Do not buy the dip until it's blatantly obvious. This is a potential capitulation event, which means that go back and look at June of 2022 if you want to see what happens when that stuff happens, is that it's 3 days straight of selling. So don't buy the dip until you start taking out higher highs on the higher time frames. Higher highs on the higher time frames. 60-minute chart, 4-hour chart. When you start taking out higher highs, that is when you can start thinking about a possible long. But don't sit there on the 5-minute trying to catch every dip. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. Still coming off here, 460 on down. And already, this is 300 points from the 935, 940 high. Extreme volatility. They just put another 2,700 orders up at 53.90. Absolutely extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Riding the top down from Apple. Beautiful. It's still going here too. NASDAQ 461. Let's see that. There we go. Okay. VIX has hit the yearly high. Man, I should have held my stupid puts. Gah. I'm more upset about those things than ever. Yeah, so the highest the VIX has been since October of 2023 when we bounced. And I think we're actually higher. I think we just tied it. We might have put in a cent higher. After that, we're going to March of 2023 highs. I'm short from 597. Beautiful. Still straight on down. My dad spent 30 years having someone manage his IRA. When I got into trading, convinced him to manage himself and buy the S&P. He was averaging 1.5% a year. Yeah, I've heard those stories where people put money in their retirement accounts for like 30 years, but it's never invested. It's just sitting in their retirement account, but it's not actually invested. So they literally wasted 30 years of compounds. My question is like, How do you not know that? I've heard those stories before. It's like, how do you not know that you're not invested? Do you ever check on it? Like, I check on mine at least once a quarter, if not every month. Or my one of my best friends, his wife is also a federal employee. She's invested in the G fund her entire career. So for 20 years now, she's put all her money in the G fund, which is ridiculous. G fund has its place, but not forever. Extremely low yields. I love trading counterfeit twit. Yeah. Don't do nothing. That's right. That needs to be. I need to put that on a T-shirt. Don't do nothing. Let me TM that real quick now. I've been trying to convince every single soldier I know to get out of the G fund. Yeah, the G fund is great for times of volatility if you want to maintain when the markets are getting crushed. Like right now would be a decent time to get into the G fund, but that's only for very customizable temporary situations. We're still selling. Holy crap! But you absolutely do not want to hold G fund forever. I wouldn't even have any G fund in your account at all in a normal environment. C fund and S fund, baby. 60/40 SC. Care to make a prediction on Israel, Iran, on the effect on oil prices? I don't know, man. It depends on what they do. You know, if that kicks off into a major war, then who knows? I think economic slash oil warfare will be rampant. You have to remember, we get very little of our oil from the Middle East, like 7% of our oil from the Middle East. Most of our oil comes from Mexico, domestic production in Canada, and I believe a little bit from Venezuela. How much would you pay attention to the upward shifts on GEX? Right now, the GEX is centered around 52.90, although it's rolling. There's a phenomenal amount of GEX everywhere. There's a phenomenal amount of liquidity everywhere, up and down, and we are just absolutely waterfalling here, just straight on freaking down. Straight on freaking down. So this is just rolling positions down here. Like, this is egregious by every measure of the word. To me, just focus on the waterfalls. We are in straight on capitulation. We haven't seen this in 2 years. And when you haven't seen that in 2 years, especially with the amount of buying we've had the last 9 months with no volume, this is going to undo a lot of damage and cause a lot of damage too from people buying the dip. So I would continue to play the downside here and just roll stops down. Am I holding? Yes, I am. I'm holding short NASDAQ right now. Holding short NASDAQ. And food production, why the U.S. gets involved in wars, I have no idea. Well, you know why, agnostic. We know why they get in wars, because that's how you fund the industrial complex. $53.54. NVIDIA 830 IV, 55 now, 85% climbing. We're still selling off here. Still selling off. NASDAQ just tapped 412. I'm going to have to go. I'm cutting it close. 410 and going. This is absolutely insane. Next major target for NASDAQ is 334. I would say, let's call it 330. 330 is the next level here after blowing right through. Incredible. Incredible. Put buying is accelerating. Calls are starting to go into selling mode. So they are hammering the puts right now. Hammering the puts. And still dropping. VIX is rocketing at the moment still. So keep playing it. Roll the stops down. Get into a short and roll the stops down. Like, this is capitulation days. So roll the stops down and protect yourself and take your hands off the stupid mouse. I don't really have a target profit set on these things. I'm just rolling the stops down. We broke lower. Let it eat. Liquidity. We have 53.75, 2,700 orders. All right, I have to go. I've sat here as long as I can, but I have to go. I'm going to leave the stream on. I'll be back in about 45 minutes, 45 minutes. So y'all have fun. Roll your stops down. Don't get smoked before I get back. Num, 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 num.